Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to TFD Talk Champions League. It's that time of the year, Dr. Graywell. Whenever I hear this song during the knockout phases, I get goosebumps till this day. I've been watching football for the last 20 years. Champions League is a special, special tournament. And when they sing, "We are the champions," oh my God, that is so awesome. What are your experiences? What are you looking forward to this week of Champions League games?
Oh, there's nothing better. I always try to explain to people who don't understand. I'm like, this thing is so good. They don't play a national anthem. It has its
Yeah.
own anthem, right? No, it's the absolute best. Everyone's standing, staring, straight faced. It's also Valentine's Day tomorrow, but
Oh, that's true. Yes.
Champions League
Yes.
is taking priority over that. So that's where my focus has been all week. Luckily on the West Coast, it's like during the day that you can do your Valentine's thing at night. I feel bad for the Europeans, Gonna come home from work and it's gonna be one or the other, Yeah, one or the other.
Valentine's Day or football, or maybe
Yeah.
both at a bar, so the TV is against that person, right? Like, yeah. Well, let's jump into the games. Like, really good games this week. AC Milan playing Tottenham. AC Milan at home. Are we looking into any major injuries out here? Looks like Tottenham is coming off a couple of they lost last game, but they won 2 games before that, so they're in kind of like a 50-50 form. And Milan is like sitting fifth in the table, coming off a win, but they had 3 losses back to back. So what are we looking at for injuries out here, Dr. Gavel?
So the big ones, if you look at Tottenham, unfortunately, Rodrigo Bentancur tore his ACL this weekend, just going in for a tackle, sort of the classic mechanism for that. So his season's over, and he's unfortunately not going to be ready for the start of next season. And then the other big one is Hugo Lloris, right? Unfortunately,
yes, he's out for 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, so he's obviously going to be out this week. And then I believe Højbjerg is suspended for Tottenham as well. So. 3 players that would have featured, I think, at some point in this first leg, even if they didn't start, are out for Tottenham. And then looking over on the Milan side of things, American Serginho Dest was not named to their Champions League squad.
Yeah, controversial.
Yes. So obviously on loan from Barcelona, things not going great for him out there. And then I think he had a bit of a calf issue, and now they've sort of dropped him from the Champions League squad. And then Alessandro Florenzi is also out. He's been out for a long time. My understanding is that he might be back for the second leg. And then keeper Mike Mannion is also out due to a calf injury. He's been out for a really long time. They're saying he could be back for the second leg, but not too sure about the probability of that.
Okay. Well, it looks like connecting the injuries, both teams are evenly matched. Both teams are like kind of coming off like a weird a win-loss combination out here. So I think it's going to be a good game. I think both are evenly matched, so it should be a good game. The next big game, I think this is the biggest game of this week. PSG play Bayern. Looks like Kylian Mbappe had full practice today, and everyone's saying his miracle hamstring is coming back to its full strength. I don't understand. He missed 3 weeks in January, came back February 1st, got injured against Montpellier, and how is he back? What are we looking at? Like, is he like fully fit, or are they going to look like 50-50 out here?
I'm going to say he's not fully fit, but at the same time, I do think that sometimes soccer players, especially professional soccer players, exercise a lot of caution. I don't think they feel the pressure of like NFLers to try to go out there and play, especially a guy like Mbappe, whose spot is so secure. So perhaps this was really mild, and maybe the whole time the plan was for him to just rest and then be ready for the Champions League tie. But no, I would say if they were honest in the reporting of the injury and the severity, he's going to be out there at less than 100% of playing. Yeah. And obviously the other one too is Lionel Messi was also concerned that he might not be able to play. It looks like he might be back. And then like Marco Verratti, he's also at training. I think that honestly, the only player who's going to be out is like Renato Sanchez for PSG. I think that all of them will be at least available as a substitute in the first leg against Bayern. So Bayern fans were probably super happy like 72 hours ago, and everything's on its head the day before their matchup.
I think momentum plays a big factor. PSG is coming off like a terrible loss against Monaco, 3-1. And of course, the second half of the season after Christmas, Bayern Munich goes into cruise mode. They're in 5th position. Now they're in the 1st position, and they're going to win the Bundesliga. That happens every year. Dortmund and other clubs kind of like give like a fake hope that they can win the league, but ends up being Bayern every year. So I think that's the biggest game of the week. So again, any injury concerns on the Bayern side, or I didn't look into anything, but
there is some. Unfortunately, Lucas Hernandez, he tore his ACL at the World Cup, so he's obviously out for the season. Manuel Neuer was skiing after Germany broke his leg, so he's out. Sadio Mane is still not fit.
But
from
I saw he was going to play though. I thought.
No, I think he's out for the first leg
Oh,
if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I
okay.
could be wrong because I know he's healed up and back in training, but he hasn't played in a game yet. My understanding is that they're aiming for the second leg for Mane.
Hmm.
And then it sounds like Chupa Moting might be out, and then someone to keep an eye on. Thomas Muller was subbed out this weekend. It sounded like it
Okay.
might be a calf issue,
Hmm.
so we'll have to see. Does he start? Is he coming off the bench? If he starts, is he only playing 60 minutes? So that's someone who's got something that's lingering as well from the weekend. So it's going to be an amazing matchup, but we might see some players featuring less or not featuring at all in the first leg, unfortunately.
Sadio Mane came back to practice, yes, like this past weekend. So he's been practicing the last 2 days. So again, maybe he might come as a sub for the last 5-10 minutes, but like, yeah, I don't think he's going to be 100% fit. Okay, the next game, it's on Wednesday. Dortmund play Chelsea. I think this is going to be like a sneaky, interesting game. I think like everyone's ruling out Chelsea, but the talent in their team is amazing. Like whether we like it or not, their talent is just bought everyone, and they're coming with like 3 back-to-back draws. So I don't know how that is going to span out, but Dortmund is on fire. They have won their last 5 games, and I don't know. Gio Reyna is there. I'm a Gio Reyna fan, so let's see if he can be a Champions League hero. What are we looking at for injuries for Chelsea?
Well, you got Pulisic too, but Pulisic,
Yeah, Pulisic
unfortunately,
is injured.
that's
Chelsea is like,
he's out.
yeah.
So you're going for Girona. No, that's fair. I mean, we've covered it a lot for those of you who listen to
Mhm.
our English Premier League podcast. We've covered it in depthly that Chelsea's had issues. Obviously, Conte's out. Christian Pulisic is out. Edouard Mendy's out. Raheem Sterling is out. So,
Mhm.
Chelsea's not fully fit. However, they just spent a whole bunch of money, so they've got some new toys that I'm sure they want to play with.
Mhm.
And Dortmund's actually okay from a health standpoint, so they're
Yep.
kind of at full strength, which is good for them. And I think this is gonna be a great tie because
Mhm.
Chelsea's only chance at European football next year, obviously, is to win the Champions League.
That's a good point.
Um,
Yep.
and the other thing is like Dortmund sort of, they're always there. They're always a tough out, arguably one of the hardest stadiums in the world to play in.
Mhm.
So I think you have two teams that are going to be going all out, and it wouldn't surprise me if this ends up being a better tie than the PSG Bayern one.
Oh, interesting. What do you think? Is it going to be a draw? Dortmund's going to win. I feel Dortmund's favorite, right?
Yeah, I think so. The first leg's always a tough one. It wouldn't surprise me if it's a draw, which obviously doesn't matter as much now since the road goals rule is taken away. But no, it wouldn't surprise me if we get like a nice 1-1, pretty
Hmm.
good game there.
But again, Chelsea has to be beware of the fan section out here. It's the fear of the wall. They're going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Dortmund's fans are probably one of the best in the world. So I think it's going to it's going to be a great game. It's at like 2 p.m. Central Time, so I think I'll watch the game. Pretty excited about it.
That's perfect timing.
Yes. Okay, we have to talk about the 4th game. Benfica played, no, sorry, Club Bruges play at home against Benfica. Benfica, of course, Rui Costa, their president, is super angry that Enzo Fernandez wanted to go to Chelsea. And since then, Benfica is just dominating. They're top of their league out there. Club Bruges is, of course, one of these clubs. They can cause a surprise, but it has to be at home. So I feel if Bruges wants to create any upset out here, they have to win this game.
Yeah, I mean, they're a bit of a surprise to get made this far. They're not really having a great Belgian campaign. I think they're sitting 3rd or 4th in the Belgian
Yep.
league. And then you look over at Benfica; they're having a great season. I do think Benfica rolls over them. This is the least sexy matchup of all the rounds.
Yeah.
And we're going to see a big club like PSG or Bayern be out at this stage, whereas we're going to see Benfica rolling into the quarterfinals.
Yeah. Well, I think that's our main Champions League coverage. We just wanted to give you guys like a quick update on all the injuries and the matchups of this week.